Hello and welcome to my 2023 holiday gift guide for picky people. So if you spent time on my channel, you know I'm a pretty picky person, and thus I think that makes me a really difficult person to buy for. And I thought that also maybe makes me really good to create a gift guide for maybe people out there like you that have picky people on their list and don't really know where to get them. So I thought I would give you a bunch of ideas of things that I have in my own home that I genuinely really love, and I wanted to share those with you in this guide so that maybe if you have a picky person in your life, it makes it a little bit easier to shop for them this holiday season. So let's get going. Okay, first up on my list is going to be this Saje hand sanitizer. So I actually divided this video, by the way, into 3 categories. This is sort of the stocking stuffer, smaller gifts sort of area of the video. This hand sanitizer. When the pandemic first broke out, I remember going to Saje and they were giving hand sanitizer kind of at the front of the store, you know, like all the retailers were doing. I remember using it and I was like, you guys need to bottle this and sell it because this is the best hand sanitizer. If you don't know Saje, by the way, they specialize in like essential oils and stuff, and that's kind of their bread and butter. And of course, everything in there obviously smells beautiful, including the hand sanitizer, which is rare because hand sanitizer usually is really like clinical and gross and doesn't leave you kind of feeling like a great kind of feel on your hands. And it usually smells kind of like, I don't know, multi-purpose cleaner or something. Like it's very medical, you know? Saje makes one that doesn't smell medical at all, and in fact is a pleasure to use because it smells amazing. Like I actually like using this, even though I try to remember that I probably shouldn't use hand sanitizer all the time. I generally just sort of use this in the car, or you might have this in your purse or something. And honestly, it's just really nice to have hand sanitizer on the go, even though the pandemic is, you know, moving hopefully behind us. Still nice to have this in the car all the time because this really is just the best smelling, most gorgeous hand sanitizer that I've ever used. Here we are, still kind of sort of in the pandemic, and I'm still using this all the time. So definitely 5 on 5 stars. Love the Saje hand sanitizer. It's still the best out there in my opinion. Okay, and next up is going to be the Surpus candle lighter. So how this works is just a USB rechargeable, which is nice, right? There's no batteries or anything. You just recharge the USB and you flick this open like that. It's got these little blue lights, and you just press this button. And it's got a little zapper, and it's used for your candles or lighting a fire. You could take this camping or whatever. I featured this in my Amazon video if you guys saw that a couple of weeks back. I'm gonna link to the end of that if you missed this one. So, you know, I'm gonna repeat myself a couple of times, but that's what the timestamps down below are for, so you can always zip around the video. This is fantastic. Since I featured it in that video, I swear, like, I think like 600 or something of these things have been purchased, and you guys message me on Instagram and say, thank you so much, this is so cool. It's such a unique gift, I think, to give somebody. A wonderful stocking stuffer, because it's easy to slip right in there. It's really great if you have somebody on your shopping list that is really into candles, but probably wouldn't have one of these. You know, like it's kind of unique and they probably wouldn't think that they need one, but they do. They just didn't realize it. So I think it's a really great gift for that reason. Okay, and then speaking of candles, we've got a couple of really cute ones. So first of all, this is still my favorite candle ever. You get it on Amazon. It is from this company called Lulu Candles. I'm gonna link it. Everything linked, of course, is down below. It's honestly so fantastic. I love this candle. This is my go-to. But I'm also here going to feature this one called Found Objects, which is by the lovely, wonderful YouTuber known as Arvin Olano, a great friend of mine. He did a collaboration with Wax and Wayne, did this gorgeous candle. This one is a little bit woodsier. I would say it's a bit more masculine. This one is a little bit more floral. Both are awesome. I've been having them all the time. I love that it's got this black glass, which I just think is gorgeous and kind of fits into everybody's decor. Very simple, very luxe. Love these candles. These are beautiful. And again, they're just a really nice gift. Candles, like, I don't know, I find like sometimes the old sad candles, the Yankee candles, those get passed around all the time and regifted over and over because no one really wants them. These are candles you actually want to light. You know what I mean? Assuming you're not sensitive to scents, which I know some people are, these are really beautiful. And candles you actually want to light because, you know, they actually smell good. So definitely these are my personal 2 faves of the moment. Okay, next up is going to be this Yeti koozie? It's like got 2 O's in it, but I'm gonna say it's a cozy because it's cozy. Anyway, this is for a standard size beer can or pop can or whatever you so like. It just unscrews at the top here and then you just like slip your can in there and it keeps it cold. I don't know, it's Yeti, right? So it's got to keep it for like ever. Yeti is a bit of a cult following. I think a lot of people in the camping sort of outdoorsy space swear by Yetis. I'm not in the camping and outdoor space as you might expect. So I can't tell you if Yeti's really awesome in terms of their big coolers, but I can say for this is awesome. I love this because it really does obviously keep your drinks cooler for longer than those Oh, I hate those little stupid, like those foam things that people have, which usually have like it's beer o'clock or something written on the front of them. Anyway, I don't like those foam ones. If you're a picky person or you're shopping for a picky person, that's not gonna clear the bar, but this will, because I think this is going to keep your drinks cold for a very, very long time, which is why I love it. And also it's just cool and like kind of classy because it's just got this little matte black on the outside. So, you know, it just hasn't got a cheeky little saying on the front or anything like that. It's not made of foam like those other ones. It's really durable and high quality, and I love, love, love this one. This one is like 25 bucks or something like that. So it's kind of like good price point, I would say, for kind of an acquaintance or a friend or someone that you're buying a gift for. Just kind of a nice little, cute little cozy thingy. Yeah, I like this one. Okay, next up is going to be these Travertine coasters, also from Amazon. I love these and I think they make a really great gift because a lot of people tend to forget about coasters, especially, you know, people maybe that just moved out on their own or something. It's not something you necessarily think of all the time until you need coasters. And it's just nice to have it to protect your stuff and also to offer it to your guests. Because a lot of people, when I go to someone's house, I always assume I'm like gonna have a coaster and I look for a coaster. And if they don't have one, I'm like, you should protect your stuff. So I like these because they're a natural stone. These are made of travertine. So they've got this beautiful kind of like Swiss cheese sort of effect, gorgeous texture. But I think this is a great gift, not just because, I mean, I bought them for myself, but they're a great gift because they're sort of neutral and simple enough that you're not kind of gonna do something really polarizing that people wouldn't necessarily like. You know what I mean? Like, it's just nice, it's simple, it's minimal, it's basic, it's textural, it's a natural stone, so it's gorgeous, and it's always gonna look great in your home, but without necessarily being too polarizing. So I think this makes an awesome gift idea. Love these. I also have here the Amazon charging stone. You can also get this from Target as well. It's Einova, I think is the brand. I'm gonna link it. Comes in a bunch of different types of stone. This one is this gorgeous sort of travertine, but it comes in a bunch of different colors. I featured this also in my Amazon video, but I just love, love, love this. And I think this is a unique gift for somebody because not everybody has a wireless charger, but everybody has devices that are compatible with wireless chargers. So it's a little bit of an interesting sort of gift to give somebody. It's not super, super expensive, which I like. And again, if you're picky like me, oftentimes, especially if you really care about your home and home decor, you don't want the really sort of techie stuff in your home, although you understand the functional benefit of having a wireless charger because you just go in and chuck your phone on it and it charges it. I get it. That's really like a cool functional need, but I don't want something that's too techie and really like ugly looking. This is not. It's a beautiful natural piece of stone. It's fabulous. It's gorgeous. Again, look at a person's house, try to understand their style a little bit, and you can get the corresponding stone that matches their decor. And I think honestly, even a picky person like myself would love to receive a gift like this. It's something that you wouldn't necessarily buy for yourself, even though I bought it for myself, but a lot of people wouldn't really think about it. And it's really unique and interesting. And if you got a picky person on your list, I think this is a good one to consider. Okay, so next up on my list is going to be the Chemex coffee maker. So if you have a coffee lover in your life, well, you know, they might already be pretty picky about how they make their coffee. But if they love coffee, but they maybe haven't figured out how they want to brew their coffee, I would highly recommend the Chemex system. Now, personally, I also have an espresso machine that I love. It's a rocket espresso machine, but you gotta love somebody a lot because those are like $2,000. But this is a lovely, gorgeous coffee maker. And I mean, the design is beautiful. It is timeless. It's featured in the MoMA. Like, I mean, come on, this is just a beautiful little coffee machine. How it works is you put the paper filter in the top there, you grind the coffee for the Chemex. So you gotta talk to your coffee place and get that. Throw that in, you put the water over top, and of course it filters down below. It's kind of like a pour over, but it's like a special thing because it's a Chemex, because it's got its own special filters. It's honestly a really beautiful cup of coffee. I love it. I love coffee a lot. I drink coffee every single day. I would drink it 4 times a day if it was good for my heart. But you know, I get heart palpitations if I have too much coffee, so I gotta be careful. Any coffee lover would love to have a Chemex, should have a Chemex in their home because it's just really a beautiful way to do your coffee. I also would say a French press is nice as well. A lot of Boda makes a really nice one. That's kind of the most popular one. But I just like the taste of the Chemex more. I don't know, it's just got like a brightness to it that you just find that sometimes I just don't get out of a French press, but that is another really great option as well, is to go with something like a Boda. But the Chemex, it's just not only is it great tasting coffee, but it's really beautiful to look at too. I would say those are maybe 2 really good options. Okay, next up on my list is going to be these beautiful Fable serving spoons. So Fable, gorgeous brand, love them, love Fable, love everything they come out with. Their sort of hero product is their stoneware, which I'll get to further on later in the list. But I selected the serving spoons because I think they are fabulous. Not only that, these are actually the matte gold, which is beautiful. It also comes in black, and I think they also have silver as well. Oh, and they have a 2-toned, which I don't really like as much as the actual like gold, but you know, you do you if that works for your style. And I think it really sort of gets at a price point I think that really will make sense for a lot of people. Once you buy a dinnerware set, I mean, that's a big commitment to something. You have to really make sure that you're dealing with a person that you know, I think, to give somebody an entire dish set. But this is beautiful because, you know, a lot of people have maybe wooden spoons, ones they have from IKEA or something, and these would be like a really gorgeous kind of fancy, beautiful upgrade to give somebody. Also, shout out to their beautiful stoneware salad bowl, because sometimes, again, like if you're giving a gift, it's not, you're not oftentimes looking to give somebody kind of just their everyday run-of-the-mill stuff. You're looking for something that feels a little bit more special and a little bit different and kind of a standalone piece to kind of serve as a gift. Does that make sense? So I think the salad bowl or the serving bowl, as well as those serving spoons, are a gorgeous match. Everybody would be absolutely thrilled to get them. And also the serving spoons come in this really beautiful box as well. So I think it makes for a really nice unwrapping as well. So if you have a picky person in your life that loves to cook, but maybe doesn't have some great serving spoons or is looking for something a little bit different, I think these would be a fabulous set to pick up. Okay, next up is going to be Aesop soap. So this is like the quintessential like fancy soap. I feel like it's like all the real estate listings. Every realtor knows to put a bottle of Aesop in the bathroom. That adds 100 grand to the price of the house, doesn't it? Just by putting in this beautiful little hand wash. Listen, it's expensive soap. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's actually the reason why I made this list, because expensive soap is oftentimes a everyday luxury that people don't actually give themselves, right? Like it's not something that you would necessarily go and spend $40 or $50 or whatever it is on a fancy bottle of soap, but it is something that makes for a beautiful gift that everybody always really appreciates. It's also a consumable, which is nice because sometimes, you know, other things on this list are gonna be permanent additions to people's homes. And sometimes, you know, if you're a picky person, you wanna be really careful with stuff that you bring in that you're going to see and use all the time. So consumables can be really great for that because, you know, if you like it but maybe don't love it, it's not such a big deal and not something that you're gonna throw on Facebook Marketplace a week later after Christmas. So I think the soap really sort of clears that bar as like, it's a consumable item, it's absolutely beautiful, gorgeous to use, an everyday luxury, and it's a nice, beautiful treat to get a bottle of Aesop as a gorgeous holiday gift. I would say my favorite one is the one that has the pumice in. It's like the geranium leaf or something with the pumice that make for a really beautiful hand washing experience. I don't know what you'd call it, but anyway, just trust me. Just go into the store, use it, use the one with the pumice. You will not regret it. Trust me. Okay, next up, let's start moving into some of the more expensive items on this list. These are for people that maybe it could be your spouse, could be your partner, could be your kids, I don't know who you need to shop for, but these are the little bit more expensive items. I didn't put anything on this list that's like $1,000 or something. Like go ahead and buy somebody a frame TV. That's a family gift. That's not really something you just give somebody. So there's no Dyson vacuums or anything on this list, even though those are also awesome. So I wanted to include stuff that's a little bit more premium, but without breaking the bank. And so kind of in that $100, $200, $300 price point here. First one I'm going to say is going to be Fable Stoneware. I love Fable. So as I mentioned, I talk about their serving spoons, and I think the serving bowls are beautiful because it's that nice kind of beautiful gift that you could give somebody. You can go to their home. You could, you know, a fabulous gift to give a friend or something like that. I do think that it's awesome. But if you have somebody in your life, could be your partner, could be your kids, maybe someone who is just getting started, they maybe moved out on their own and they're trying to save money as much as they can and they're looking for house gifts. I remember when I was in my 20s, if somebody gave me something that was good for my home, it was like, thank God, because now I don't actually have to buy it myself because I had no money. So this is a really, really great idea, is getting them a beautiful Fable dinnerware set. So this is gonna get all the basics that you need. You are going to get kind of the plates, you're going to get the bowls, you're gonna get the mugs, you're gonna get all the things, and I think it's honestly gorgeous to have fabulous stoneware. Everything is made in Portugal. All their stoneware is hand finished. So, you know, you're getting something that feels real and it's organic, it's beautiful, it's fabulous, it's not so manufactured. These are not your average plates. These are fabulous, gorgeous stoneware. You really can't go wrong with a gorgeous brand new stoneware set. And so this is just kind of one of those moments where, you know, you can give somebody that upgrade and give them beautiful stoneware that they're gonna have for years and years and years to come. You know, it's just giving them an opportunity to do something they wouldn't otherwise do for themselves. And that's usually what I love to do this season, is to give people things that they wouldn't really want to give for themselves. Okay, next up on my list is going to be a Theragun. So if you have somebody who's really into fitness, or somebody who's really like kind of sporty or whatever, and they like to give themselves little massages or whatever, the Theragun is, I think, an awesome, awesome choice. Now, I think a lot of the fitness influencers were definitely hyping the Theragun a couple of years back. We bought one, and maybe I'm late to the party here, but I'm just gonna say it's still awesome. It's still just as great as it was a couple of years ago. So what I love about it, which I think is so smart, this is it, you just press the button here. I'm not gonna do it because it's kind of loud, is the handle. Like the handle, you can kind of like get in behind and you can kind of do all the things that you kind of need to do. You can kind of have it, kind of grip it in really interesting ways. And I think that's why it's really popular. Not only is it giving you kind of a great massage and it's good for like deep tissue stuff, and you can control the settings and whatever, it's got a bunch of features, but it's also really nice to kind of go around and kind of get in places that's really difficult to do on your own. So I think the Theragun is still awesome. We use it all the time, had it for a couple of years, still really enjoy it, and perfect for a person on your list that is a little bit sporty or into fitness and maybe doesn't have one of these, this is always gonna be a welcome addition in their home. Okay, next up is going to be Vessi Shoes. So Vessi was actually the first sponsor I ever had on this channel like a year and a half ago. I've worn those shoes literally almost every single day for the last like year and a half. I finally let them go and upgraded my Vessis because they got a hole in them. And I felt like they weren't really waterproof because they had a hole in them. And that's kind of the deal with Vessi, which is what makes them amazing, is their sneakers are completely waterproof. You can step in a puddle and your feet don't get wet, which isn't just a novelty, it's actually incredibly functional, especially when you live in a city like Vancouver where it rains for like half the year. These are really cool. I would still say, here's my tips on buying Vessis. Number one, I prefer the weekends over the weekdays. They're a little less sporty, a little bit more casual, and just better for everyday use. So I do think you get a lot more use out of the weekends. And I would say darker colors tend to hide the dirt a lot better than the lighter colors, because if you're gonna be stepping in puddles, that's great and all, but if you have white shoes, you're gonna have to kind of wash them regularly. But I would say what's great about Vessis as well is you can throw them in the washing machine. So I love Vessis. As I said, I've been wearing them pretty much every day for coming up 2 years now. Really functional, casual, prepared for all weather. They're honestly just kind of the best shoes. These are my everyday shoes that I wear all the time. So I think they're a great gift to give to anybody, especially, you know, shoes kind of can be difficult to buy for, but you know, get to know their shoe size and then give them a gift of Vessis. And I honestly think they would really enjoy it. Okay, and then last up on my list, this is going to be a kitchen item that is a gift that you give somebody that you really love, because it's not a cheap one, okay? But it is something that will literally last them, not just years, like generations. This is the stuff you give your grandkids, and that is a Le Creuset Dutch oven. I have it in the color meringue. I love this thing. If you love to cook, you need a Dutch oven. And if you need a Dutch oven, honestly, the best is Le Creuset. Yes, I know there's some Staub fans out there. I hear you, I get it, but I'm sorry. I like the light colored enamel because then I can really see what I'm doing when I'm cooking. This is the one kitchen tool that any serious cook needs to have in their home. Absolutely 110%, right? People pass this down for generations. This is cast iron that will last forever and ever and ever. You can go on the stovetop, it works for induction. You can go right into the oven. I cook everything in this thing. Like, it is good for baking bread, it's good for chilies, it's good for pasta, it's good for everything you can possibly really kind of think of that you would need. Like, I use saucepans and stuff, but honestly, I tend to use the Dutch oven every chance that I get because it really is just a joy to cook with. So if you maybe have a person on your list that's moved out on their own and they need kitchen stuff and you're thinking, you know, I'm gonna give them something that is going to last them for years and years and years that they are going to love forever, and you love that person because it's not cheap, I would strongly consider a Le Creuset Dutch oven. It's a fantastic item. It's something that I have and I use pretty much every day, and it is my one kitchen essential. If it's the last thing you can take away from me that is in my kitchen, and I have a lot of kitchen gadgets, trust me, it's all gonna be about that Dutch oven for me. Like, that's the one item. If you only are gonna buy one thing from Le Creuset, make sure that it is a Dutch oven. It really is the best one. You can get the oval one, but I prefer the circular one myself because I just think it fits on elements and stuff better. It's expensive, so make sure you love the person that you're giving it to, but they will love you forever if they get them a Le Creuset Dutch oven, in my opinion. So that's it for me for today, you guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope I gave you some ideas on who to shop for that maybe still left on your holiday list. I wish you all a wonderful holiday season, that you have a wonderful, amazing time. I'm gonna link here to my video on Amazon must-haves because there's some items there that we did not make this list, but they're still awesome. So if you wanna check out that video, go check out that one, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks a lot, bye.